Hi friends, now let us discuss some of the important questions related to sebi grade A. It is also useful for RBI grade B. Now let us start with management. According to Maslow's theory of needs, identify the correct statements from below. Maslow's defined six different types of needs which can motivate an individual. Security needs are the primary needs of an individual. Example being food and water. Psychological needs comes at the bottommost part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Love, affection, and friendship from his fellow being are an example of esteem needs. All of all the above statements are correct. So let us choose the best option. We all know that Maslow's have only five needs. So first option is wrong. Security needs are not food and water. So second option is wrong. Psychological needs comes at the bottommost part. That is true. So C is correct. So C is the option. So C is the correct option. Now let us see Maslow's theory of needs diagram. Here you can see that there are five stages. At the bottommost psychological needs, next safety needs, next social needs, next self-esteem needs, next self-actualization need. Safety needs and psychological needs are called basic needs. Psych sorry, Safety needs and physiological needs are called basic needs. Social needs and self-esteem needs are called psychological needs. Self-actualization needs are called self-fulfillment needs. So self-actualization need is growth need, and remaining all are deficiency needs. Okay. Here satisfaction progression increases from bottom to top. Okay. You can see it is a pyramid. Now let us discuss about this in detail. Maslow's motivation theory given by Abraham Maslow. There are five needs in Maslow needs hierarchy: physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, self-esteem needs, self-actualization needs. Physiological needs. These primary needs are created in an individual by nature. Needs of air, water, food, defecation, etc. are such needs. Safety needs or security needs. After fulfillment of physiological needs, an individual wants phys- uh, physical safety and well being, emotional security, and financial security. Needs of belongingness. Having the above two needs being fulfilled, an individual wants a sense of belongingness to someone or a group. He wants love, affection, and friendship from his fellow beings. Esteem needs. Esteem needs presents the typical human desire to be accepted and valued by others. Needs of self actualization. Based on potentialities, an individual wants to do such an extraordinary work so that he may acquire top place in the eye of the people. So I hope you understood this. It's very easy. Now let us go to another question. Clayton P. Alderfus believed that the original need hierarchy was not quite accurate in identifying and categorizing human needs. Therefore, in 1969, Alderfer proposed ERG theory. What does ART stands for in the ERG theory? Recover, rescue, relation, relatedness, none of the above. What do you think? Option D, relatedness is the correct option. Now let us discuss about this. Alderfer's hierarchy of motivational needs. Here you can see that. Here you can see in this diagram, you can see the difference between Maslow's and Alderfer's needs theory. Left side is the Maslow's and right side is the Alderfer's needs theory. You can see here existence is bottommost, then relatedness, then growth. ERG. Safety and physiological needs comes under existence, belongingness comes under relatedness, esteem and self actualization comes under growth. Same from most essential prepotent needs to high order needs. Here in Aldorfer needs theory, frustration regression decreases from top to bottom. In Maslow's theory, satisfaction progression increases from bottom to top. I hope you understood this. Now let us go to another question. According to MC Clelot's theory of needs, which is also known as achievement theory of motivation, there are three types of needs which motivate an individual in the same record. Identify the odd one out. So, need for achievement, need for affiliation, need for power, need for social interaction, none of the above. So identify the odd one out. We all know that need for achievement, need for affiliation, need for power comes under MC Clelon's theory. So odd one is need for social interaction. So option D. So now let us discuss. David MC Clelon's identify three learned or acquired needs, also called as manifest needs. MC Clelon's theory of needs: need for achievement, need for power, need for affiliation. Now let us go to another question. Hertzberg's two-factor theory is also known as the motivation hygiene theory. According to Hertzberg's, which factor determine whether the employee is dissatisfied or not dissatisfied? Motivation factor, hygiene factor, maintenance factor, both A and B, both B and C. So it's a little tricky question. The answer is E, both option B and C. Hygiene factor and maintenance factor. Now let us discuss. Hertzberg's two-factor theory of motivation. Motivators: satisfaction, no satisfaction. Hygiene factor: no dissatisfaction, dissatisfaction. Hertzberg's view of satisfaction and dissatisfaction. Two factors theory. Hertzberg's: staff is dissatisfied and unmotivated. Hygiene factor: staff is not dissatisfied but unmotivated. Motivational factor: staff is satisfied and motivated. So I hope you understood this. So let us discuss this in brief. Hertzberg's two-factor theory of motivation. Hertzberg's two-factor theory is also known as motivation hygiene theory. It states two different facets of motivation. The first being hygiene factor or job context. The second factor is satisfier or job content, that is intrinsic qualities of the job. Satisfaction, motivation. The motivational factors yield positive satisfaction. These factors are inherent to work. These factors motivate the employees of a superior performance. These factors are called satisfier. These are factors involved in performing the job. Employees find these factors intrinsically rewarding. Example: achievement, recognition and responsibility. Dissatisfaction, hygiene. Hygiene factors, also known as maintenance factors, are not intrinsic part of the job but are related to conditions under which job is performed. Hygiene factors are those factors which then adequate, reasonable in a job, pacify the employees and do not make them dissatisfied but do not motivate them. But if these factors are absent, if these factors are non-existent at workplace, then they lead to dissatisfaction. Example: supervision, salary, working conditions, and job security, etc. I hope you understood this. Now let us go to the another question. Identify the correct statement from below. Theory X managers assumes that workers like their work and workers will not avoid their work. Theory X managers assume that workers are not interested in job security. Theory Y managers uses carrot and stick approach for motivating employees. Theory Y managers assumes that workers will not exercise self direction and self control if they are committed to a goal. None of the above. So the answer is none of the above. Let us discuss. Option E. NC Gregor XY theories. Theory X. Theory X. Dislike work, will avoid it, must be coerced, controlled, directed, or threatened with punishment, prefer direction, avoid responsibility, little ambition, want securities. Theory Y. Do not dislike work, self direction, self control, seek responsibility, imagination, creativity, widely distributed, intellectual potential only partially utilized. Here you can see MC Gregor's theory X and Y is Dialogues. MC Gregor developed it, and theory X managers use cat and stick approach. Theory Y managers help people to develop and encourage them to take initiatives. I hope you understood this. Let us go to another question. Theory Jet US Japanese management style was given by which of the following personality? Abraham Maslow, Victor Room, William Ochi, Alex Carey, Adam Smith. We all know that it's C. William Ochi wrote a book called Theory Jet: How American Business Can Meet the Japanese Challenge, 1981. In this book, Ochi shows how American corporations can meet the Japanese challenges by adopting a highly effective Japanese management style with little variations. The major features of Theory Z are as follows: strong bond between company and employees. Theory Z suggests long-term employment without any layoffs, participation of employees in decision making, equality in terms of common uniforms, canteens, parkings, etc. for all category of employees. So you understood this. Major features are strong bond between company and employees, partnership of employees in decision making, equality. Let us go to another question. According to Vroom expectancy theory, individual motivation to put forth effort is determined by a rational calculation in which individuals evaluate their situation. Which component of Vroom expectancy theory explains the relationship between performance and outcome? So the options are expectancy, instrumentality, valence, motivational force, all of the above. So the answer is instrumentality. Let us discuss. Motivation is equals to valence plus expectancy plus instrumentality. Valence measures the value a person attaches to a given reward. These can be extrinsic such as money, promotion or time off, or intrinsic such as sense of achievement. Expectancy measures the person's confidence in being able to get the result expected. It is a purely subjective measure of an individual belief in themselves. Instrumentality measures the extent to which an individual believes that manager or organization will deliver the rewards that were promised. Room's expectancy theory. According to expectancy theory, individual motivation to put forth effort is determined by a rational calculation in which individuals evaluate their situation. The first question is whether the person believes that prominent level of effort will lead to outcome of interest such as performance or success. This perception is labeled expectancy. This also called effect is greater than performance. The second question is the degree to which the person believes that performance is related to subsequent outcomes, such as rewards. This perception is labeled instrumentality. This is also called performance is greater than outcome. Finally, individual also concerned about the value of the reward awaiting them because of performance. The anticipated satisfaction that will result from an output is labeled valence. So motivational force MF is equals to expectancy into instrumentality into valence. So once more, Room's expectancy theory. According to expectancy theory, individual motivation to put forth effort is determined by a rational calculation in which individual evaluate the situation. The first question is whether the person believes that prominent level of effort will lead to outcome of interest such as performance or success. Their perception is labeled expectancy. This is also called effort greater than performance. The second question is the degree to which the person believes that performance is related to subsequent outcomes such as rewards. The perception is labeled instrumentality. This is also called performance is greater than outcome. Finally, individuals are also concerned about value of the reward awaited them because of performance. The anticipated satisfaction that will result from an outcome is labeled valence. Motivational force MF is equals to expectancy into instrumentality into valence. Now let us go to another question. Mr. Kush is a UX designer in the newly launched startup. He is very hardworking employee of the firm and often gets appreciated by his superiors. But recently, Mr. Kush got demotivated when he compared his salary with others UX designers in the same startup. Which theory of motivation explains the reason behind Kush demotivation? Options: Room expectancy theory, Edwin Locke goal setting theory, Adams equity theory, Maslow's theory of need, none of the above. What do you think? What is the answer? A very simple question. It is a very simple question. So you all know that answer is C. Adams equity theory. According to Adams, people judge the fairness of their work situation in two ways: by comparing the input that they contribute to the output that they receive from their job. This concept is also known as equity norm. Employees determine what their equitable return should be after comparing their inputs and outputs with those of their co-workers. This concept is referred to as social comparison. What are inputs and outputs? Inputs. The term encompasses the quality and quantity of the employee's contribution to his or her work. Typical inputs include time, effort, loyalty, challenging work, and commitment. Outputs are defined as the positive and negative consequences that an individual perceives a participant has incurred because of his or her relationship with others. Typical outcomes are job security, esteem, salary, employee benefits, experience, expenses, recognition. So here you can see the diagram: input, output, Adams equity theory of motivation, what I put into my job, what I get from my job. People become demotivated, reduce input, and or seek change improvement whenever they feel their input are not being fairly rewarded. Fairness is based on perceived market norms.